before the fall and stopped doing white wines on our varietal focuses, except today is a regional focus, if I didn't say that already, and we're going to be talking about Riesling. Well, no, it's a wine basics. I don't know what I'm talking about. Welcome back to Rewind with bschwitty, because was it over when the Germans bombed Pearl Harbor? Did I use that one already? I guess we'll find out in the clip down. Today we are doing a wine basics. I thought it would be fun to go back into white wine and particularly revisit the white wine that we last did before the fall and stopped doing white wines on our varietal focuses. So today's wine basics is on German Riesling wine labels. And that's what we have here. What we're drinking today is a 2016 Dr. Loosen Blue Slate Riesling Kabinett from Mosel. And while we drink it, we're going to talk about it. Now, German wine labels. Let's see if we can get a decent shot of this. A little. There we go. Yep. Nope. Maybe. Huh? Mikey, throw it up on the screen. So there's two important things that will define a German Riesling label. One is where the wine is from, and the other is the quality of the wine. Now, there are 13 different unique wine regions in Germany. They all have differing styles in how they treat Riesling. We're going to start out broad and work our way in. So, land wine, or Deutscher wine. That's German wine. It is table wine classification. It just means, hey, it's wine, and it's from Germany. A step up from that quality level will be into higher quality wines like, sorry, Jay, for this entire episode, Qualitätswein and Produktionswein. So if you see either of those, which I'm sure will be right here, so you could actually identify what that looks like. If it's on the label, it is the beginning of higher quality German wine. Now, the higher up you go in those qualifications and classifications, will also determine the ripeness of the grapes and regional specificity, sometimes all the way down to the vineyard, very much like a Burgundian style wine labeling, which I believe we talked about before, and if we did, peep that in the top right corner. All right. So the one that I'm more familiar with, yet still can't pronounce, is Qualitätswein. Now this classification is determined by a minimum ripeness of the grapes, and it must be produced in 1 out of the 13 regions. Kind of like an AVA in America. Upon the hierarchy of the Qualitätswein, there's Trocken/selection, a dry wine with about 9 grams of residual sugar or less. This term selection is specifically used for wines of the Rheingau, and those have been hand harvested. Halbtrocken, or classic, is a half dry or slightly sweet wine with up to 12 grams per liter of residual sugar, up to 15 for a classic. Feinherb is an unofficial term to describe an off-dry wine similar to Halbtrocken. Lieblich is a sweet wine with up to 45 grams per liter of residual sugar. And then Süß or Süß is a sweet wine with more than 45 grams per liter of residual sugar, which sounds pretty freaking sweet. This is not on that scale, so it does, however, fall under the Produktionswein. This used to be called Qualitätswein mit Prädikat, or QMP, which you may still find on labels prior to 2007. Rieslings from here are traditionally sweet, and it is commonly used in Mosel, where this is from. An additional level classification is based on the ripeness of the grapes as they are harvested. The sweeter the grape, the higher the potential alcohol and or sweetness of the wine. This is basic stuff. We already know this. And the classification also has a category for ice wine, which is ice wine, if you didn't pick that up. So, Kabinett, which this is the lightest style of Riesling made from the grapes that have sweetness levels of 67 to 82 sweetness levels of 148 to 188 grams per liter of sugar. This is a little bit on the sweet side, but it also plays off of that with its tartness. And this wine ranges from dry to off dry. Even on the back of this, it says this Riesling is medium sweet, which is fair. Spätlese, finally some words that I know how to pronounce. Spätlese means late harvest. The grapes have a sweetness level of 172 to 209 grams per liter of sugar. Spätlese is rich and usually sweeter than Kabinett. It's like it's a late harvest wine. You may see Trocken on a bottle. You can assume that it's actually dry with higher alcohol, because I believe Trocken means dry. But don't quote me on that. I don't know German. Auslese means select harvest. Auslese is an even sweeter wine than the Spätlese. It's about 191 to 206 grams per liter of sugar. These grapes have been hand selected and have noble rot. Guys, botrytis, I believe we talked about that. I don't know why I keep doing this when the card's over here. These are going to be sweeter and will be bold and high in alcohol, again, if it's marked Trocken. Following that, we have Beerenauslese, which means berry select harvest. These wines are a little bit more rare. They're basically raisinated botrytis grapes, and these have been picked at over 260 grams per liter of sugar. Next up is the Trockenbeerenauslese, meaning dry berry select harvest, and it is the most rare out of all of these that we've been talking about. It's made from raisinated grapes that were dried out on the vine and picked even higher than the Beerenauslese. Finally, there's ice wine, which is when the grapes freeze on the vine and then are pressed while still frozen. It's usually in the middle of the night. And this is actual true ice wine. Final classification would be VDP, which is Verband Deutscher Produktionsweingüter, or VDP. And it represents both sweet and dry styles, but it is commonly used outside of Mosel. Again, Mosel is where the Riesling that I'm drinking is from. And there's an additional level of classification based on where the wines are grown, similar to the Burgundian style of wine labeling. VDP Grosse Lage and VDP Grosse I'm not going to try. Great site or great growth indicate a higher quality of regional designations that are typically associated with single vineyard or small grape growing areas. Dry Rieslings under this classification will be labeled as Qualitätswein and Trocken, and can also be labeled with ripeness in terms of the predicate system, which we were just talking about. Now there's a house wine, which is Gutswein, labeled with proprietary village or regional name and labeled VDP. There's Ortswein, which is local vineyard wine, a wine from top vineyards labeled with a vineyard site name and VDP Ortswein. Erstlage, I don't know. First site, which is labeled with a vineyard site name and the logo, a numeral 1, next to a stylized cluster of grapes embossed on the bottle or in the background of the labels, and it's labeled VDP Erstlage. Finally, there's Grosse Lage or Grosse Gewachs, I don't know, which is great sight or great growth. And these will be labeled VDP Grosse Lage, or it's right there. These are the very best vineyards, very best grapes, that kind of thing. So Premier Cru, whatever, that kind of top tier stuff. And that's all I have for you for Wine Basics today. Let's see if we could read this. This is, again, a Kabinett Riesling from Mosel. It is under the Predicateswein system, product of Germany. I like this. There's a little bit of RS in it, but it's pretty refreshing, and I would probably have it again. Thank you for watching today. Coming up this week on Rewind, we're going to be celebrating National Mimosa Day on Wednesday, and on Friday, I believe we'll be taking a quiz. But not just any quiz. It's made by 2 MIT people and apparently is annoying the crap out of people on Reddit. So, tune in for that. My name is bschwitty. Thank you for watching Rewind, and I will see you the rest of this week. Please comment, share, like, and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.